Think gadget reviews, news, and all about it.
Blu Vivo 6 review. 1. It's not unusual for even a mid-ranger to set you back upwards of £500 anymore. Even the mighty OnePlus 3 couldn't maintain its budget price, with the costlier 3T having taken its place. You can blame Brexit and evil corporations all you want for the price hikes, but that's not going to help your wallet. It's why the budget-friendly Vivo 6 feels like a bolt from the blue. Or should that be blue? The new-to-the UK phone maker has shaved off fancy features that made the OnePlus 3 and iPhone 7 2016's smartphone juggernauts, leaving behind a handset that balances key components and keeping it within the realms of affordability. 2. The gold standard. You get a huge 5.5-inch screen up front, in a phone that costs half the price of the similarly sized competition. That makes it a bit of a pocket squeezer, so if you're into skinny jeans, you're going to feel it clinging to your leg like a koala with attachment issues. It's made from a now classic combination of aluminium and glass, Gorilla Glass 3 to be exact, which is admittedly a couple of generations old now. It still does a decent job of preventing light scratches, and even comes with 2 screen protectors for anyone so paranoid of damage they like to laminate their furniture. 3. The bare necessities. In a pursuit to be crowned the king of budget phones, Blu has stripped the Vivo 6 of everything but the necessities. There's no waterproof casing, no NFC for Android Pay, or any other standout feature hiding up its sleeve. You do get a fingerprint sensor, but it offers mixed results when it comes to unlocking your phone with a touch. Even after an in-depth scan of my thumb during setup, it usually took a few attempts for my print to be recognized. Good job we're not all using fingerprint locks on our front doors just yet. It may have cut the fluff, but Vivo 6 manages to get the basics right. It hits the storage sweet spot with 64 GB. Enough space for most, as long as you don't try to build up a mobile movie library. There's a microSD card slot for adding extra storage later, too. 4. Choked by motion. AMOLED might be the must-have display tech for top-dollar smartphones, but if you've spotted the emerging pattern of this review, it'll come as no surprise the Vivo 6 doesn't have one. It sticks with LCD, but manages to find room in the budget for a full HD panel, which still looks great. Colors dazzle in the rainforests of Attenborough's planet Earth too. You couldn't fault the display while watching a close-up shot of a sloth slowly swinging through the trees. As soon as the camera pans for a wide shot, though, the pixels go all grainy. This is also true for fast-moving objects, whether you're streaming or watching videos saved to your phone. 5. Mellow out. This is a budget phone, so don't expect any nougat goodness under the hood. You get Android 6.0 instead, which means no multi-window support or Daydream View VR compatibility. That shouldn't really be a deal-breaker if you're more focused on price, though. Marshmallow still offers a fast and easy-to-use experience, so you won't feel like you're using Stone Age software. 6. Smooth sailing. Keeping to the basics helps keep things speedy, too. That MediaTek CPU might not scream power, but you'll rarely notice any sluggish behavior or long load times. Despite Geekbench 4 suggesting that Vivo 6 has half the speed of phones like the Samsung Galaxy S7, it runs as smoothly as you could want for the cash. Play Asphalt 8 for half an hour and you're unlikely to notice any stalling pixels. At no point did the phone heat up either, whether I was playing games or watching TV for extended periods of time. 7. Focus on the prize. You're most likely expecting the Vivo 6 to have a basic camera, based on all the cutbacks they've made for other features. Well, you're in for a shock. It's got camera tech to take on the flashiest of smartphone snappers. The 13MP rear snapper has phase detect autofocus and a twin LED flash, so even the most amateur of photographers should be able to take some impressively striking photos, regardless of the lighting, inside or out. I took the Vivo to a fairground at dusk, a nightmare for most smartphone cameras with the range of fluorescent lights to take in. Yet despite my hands shaking from the winter cold, I was able to take clear pictures that anyone would be proud to champion on Instagram. You'll see the shortcomings if you stick your snaps side by side with a more expensive phone, sure, but for the most part they hold up very well once you've uploaded them to all your social sites. The 8MP selfie cam is equally as impressive, as long as you feed it enough natural light to keep the noise levels low. 8. Social media. It's a dab hand at video, too, at least while you're focused on stationary objects. Introduce a crowd of moving people or a fast-spinning fairground ride and the clarity and detail soon drops. This isn't a camera for taking breathtaking footage that could rival at Unbura, but for filming your antics for a Snapchat story, it will do just fine. On the bright side, there are plenty of camera modes to play around with, including HDR, panorama, time-lapse and a dedicated night mode. There's even a dedicated GIF creator. 9. All in a day's work. With a 3130 mAh battery, the Vivo has more juice than your average smartphone. This means longer battery life too. It can easily survive a day of light use, so there's no need to be running home from work to prevent it from blacking out. Watching an hour-long television show usually knocked 15% off the battery total, so if you manage to pass GCSE maths, you'll be able to work out that it should be able to cope with just under 7 hours of video on a fully charged battery. 10. Blu Vivo 6 Review, Verdict. Rather than asking you to break the bank to get a multi-talented device in your pocket, Blu would prefer you save your pennies. They've stripped back every flashy feature to keep the Vivo 6 affordable and efficient. Read the tech specs, and you're likely to be yawning yourself to sleep. Besides the camera and 5.5-inch screen, nothing stands out. Still, get your mitts on one and you'll realize that the Vivo delivers most things you'd need from a smartphone.